All right, and I think we are live. And Abby is here on time. So this is week 2 of our Can I Use YouTube Intentionally to Get Leads in 2026, right? Before I get started and share with you the crazy things that have happened the past week, just because of the few things that I put into motion last week, and then, of course, share what my plans are for this upcoming week to see if I can absolutely pivot my channel and get the YouTube algorithm to re-understand, re-trigger so that it sends my perfect viewers to my channel. It attracts the ones who are most likely to actually want to hear from me and enjoy my content and get something out of it, right? And deter anyone else who's not the perfect lead, and then warm them up so that they have the chance to become my dream client. And I'm doing this live, over the shoulder, behind the scenes, so that you can follow along and then take whatever is working for me to model for your own channels and your own businesses. And whatever doesn't work, you can avoid them. So you get to use me as your personal guinea pig. So before I share what happened last week, I want you to think about this. So in 2016, I said something that was so crazy, like absolutely crazy. And I have actually no memory of this. I was told I said this thing, and I want to share why, because I think it's really important for why we're doing this. Why even bother setting up an evergreen YouTube marketing funnel for your business, right? Why do we need to have leads coming in on autopilot for free 24/7 for years and years and years to come? So in 2016, they were rolling me down the hallway in the hospital, in our local hospital. And it's honestly the last thing I can remember before I went into my coma. I remember the bed that they were rolling me on. I remember the windows and the doors and the nurses that were coming down the hallway. I remember my wife holding my hand. I remember my doctor, who was a friend of mine. We did theater together, rolling me into this room. And it was an isolation room because I had double lung pneumonia and I could possibly be contagious. At that stage, they didn't know if it was viral or if it was bacterial. So they put me into isolation. So my wife and my children had to gown up and mask up and, the complete everything, hand, gloves and all, so that they could even just be with me. And that's my last memory. That is my last memory. Apparently, I was there for a couple of days before they decided to put me into a medically induced coma. And apparently, there are photos of me literally, having tea or crunched up in bed. I have no recollection of this. And the thing is, my oxygen fell so drastically low so quickly, the doctors decided they needed to move me to a hospital with an ICU so that someone could monitor me 24 hours a day. Our local hospital doesn't have an ICU. And it could have gone anywhere in the province of Ontario, but luckily they found a place 45 minutes away. However, in order to keep me alive during transport, I was told they would have to intubate me, so put an oxygen tube down my throat to keep my lungs working, since I was struggling to keep my lungs working on my own. They would have to put me into a medically induced coma and paralyze me for the journey just to keep me alive to get to the other hospital. And I was told it was just for a couple of days. And of course, it ended up being 3 weeks because I developed ARDS. But the thing I really want you to pay attention to now is, in that moment, the doctor had to get my permission to do this. Now, I have no recollection. I'm sure my brain was not thinking very well at that time. And so she asked me, she said, I've got to do these things. And again, this is what my wife told me. And I looked at her when she said, we're going to have to do these things. Is that okay? And this was my reply. I said, yes, sleep would be great. Thank you. And I was like, oh my God, what a crazy answer to give her at that time. Clearly showing that I had no concept of how severe this was. And my only focus in that moment was, I can't handle anything else right now. I just need sleep. Now, a little bit of a story up to that point, not only was I exhausted from being sick, but we had been doing a show. I was talking about the doctor and I, we did theater together. We just finished doing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I'd fallen through the stage when passing a prop to one of my fellow co-actors, and I hit my chest so hard on the speaker on the stage. And my daughter had gotten croup. And so she was at home dealing with that. And I was staying up all night long for at least a week trying to help her through this. So I was so exhausted when I finally got to the stage of having both lungs filled with pneumonia. All I could think about in that moment was, yes, sleep would be great. Thank you. Isn't that crazy? And the reason I bring this up is because that is life. We are overwhelmed with everything that we have to do. And we just get to the stage where we're just like, please just work for me. I just need to rest. And so, of course, after I woke up from the coma, which thank God I did, I was given roughly about a 20 to 40% chance of survival. So it's incredible that I'm even still here. But I woke up, of course, as a severely now disabled lung person. That machine that saved my life caused a ton of scarring and landed me as a severely disabled lung person for the rest of my life. And so that was a big deal to get over. And it took me months of recovery. And I was so shocked when I opened up my laptop, when it was actually strong enough to sit on my couch and have my laptop on my lap and open it up and actually have the awareness to look at my stats, to look at my businesses, to see if they were still even functioning. I honestly expected they would be dead. I mean, I had been away for months. I hadn't been able to do anything. And my history, my experience was that if you didn't put effort in, it wouldn't run, right? I wasn't emailing my members. I wasn't posting new content. I wasn't helping members in my courses. They heard nothing from me. And so it really, really blew my mind when I realized, while I was literally fighting for my life in a coma, and the months of rehab afterwards just to get strong enough to get back on my laptop, I've actually been earning passive recurring income every single month, consistently every single month. Now it was just a couple $100. It wasn't something we could live off of, but it gave me hope because my doctor told me you'll probably never work again. And that hit me so hard. I was going to be dependent on other people for the rest of my life. Now, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I was like, nope, that's not going to work for me, right? And so seeing that my business had somehow kept earning money, even if it was not a huge amount, it gave me so much hope because it meant if I could just figure out what I had accidentally done right, maybe I could do it intentionally going forward. And maybe I could actually have control over my own independence, my own financial well-being, actually provide for my family and not just to be dependent on my disability insurances and on my family for earning the money for me, but that I could make a difference. And that meant the world to me. And when I looked deep, how did this happen? How did I keep earning money? It all came down to YouTube. And I hadn't even used YouTube on purpose for my business as a promotion method. I literally only used YouTube as a way to connect with my members who I was getting leads from, from Google SEO, from marketing my business through ads, through blogging, like all these other venues, emails. I only used YouTube as a way to just connect with them. So once in a while, I would post this video or that video for my different businesses, for fun cake decorating ideas, for teaching children about money. And I was using YouTube with my homeschooling for my kiddos. They were having fun learning how to create videos and post them. And so, as you can imagine, my channel was a complete mishmash of niches. And so a very confusing channel for the algorithm to know who the heck should I show this video to? And if you were on last week's call, I gave you a little bit of a timeline of what had happened over my channel and how come, even though I had like 7 or 8 different niches, like completely different niches, and I'll show you in a moment, they were ranking. Now, not all of them, only a handful of those videos were ranking. Most of them did nothing. Crickets, like 0 views, nothing, right? So I spent years learning about YouTube SEO and how to get my videos to rank in the top search results consistently for years. And so that's what we're doing. And so now it's the time for me to pivot my channel, really align it and show YouTube, look, my channel, it's no longer about cake decorating. It's no longer about videos that my children uploaded. It's no longer about just, generic online business, generic mindset. It's no longer about teaching children about money. Now, those videos still exist. They're still out there. They're still doing well. They're still in the top rankings. They have their own funnels. But my channel is now only about evergreen YouTube marketing and the systems, the tools, the strategies that help you build your own evergreen YouTube marketing funnels. And so that was one of the things that I had as a goal for last week, was to rebrand my entire channel so that it would make sense for the algorithm and it would make sense for the leads that found me, right? So if you came to my channel and you wanted to learn how to use YouTube for business to promote your business and generate free leads on autopilot, then when you see my channel, now it makes sense. Now you're not like, hey, why does she have this cake decorating video? Or hey, why is she teaching kids about money? Or what is this law of attraction thing she's talking about, right? It's dedicated, it's specific, and it's set up intentionally for both YouTube SEO as well as to really support my perfect viewer, to support you. And so I'm going to show you what we did. So last week I showed you, so if you want to see what it looked like before the change, then make sure you watch the first video in the series. I'll link it up here once the live is over. It takes a little bit of time for me to access that. And now I'm going to dive in and I'm going to show you the changes that I've made. So there were 2 things that I was working on. One was rebranding the whole channel, refocusing the channel. The second one was learning to lean into shorts intentionally without it taking a lot of time, and then to see if it actually made a difference. So I'm going to show you whether or not it actually helped. So this is the new page. I'm just going to bring this to the stage. And let me just switch the view so that you can see me there. You can see the page better. Okay. Oh, and hi, Tony. Hi, Sina. Rezai, sorry, I don't know if I said that right, but I appreciate you being here. As we're going through this live session, if you have any questions, put them in the comments because I will answer them before I end the stream today. And I want you to take advantage of this series and use it as your own accountability. All right. So every week when I share what my goals are, I want you to share in the comment what your goal is for this coming week. And then next week, we can see if you actually achieved it or if you had to pivot, which is okay. Or if you learned a lesson that made you go, actually, I need to do this thing instead, to keep momentum going. So this is like a 2-way street with us. All right. All right. Oh, hi. Nice to see you. Okay, so this is how the channel looks now. Let me see if it's large enough. I believe it's okay. So I'd already been working on the banners. So that the banners is still looking the same as last week. I had worked on this about 2 weeks ago, already revamping it so that it's specifically targeting evergreen YouTube marketing for entrepreneurs, right? Not for people who want to be YouTube famous, to attract perfect leads 24/7, to build passive income, right? And grow with freedom. Yes, sleep would be great. Thank you, right? All right, now don't go into a coma though. Just literally go and rest on a beach or something. It's much nicer and a lot less work. All right, so I updated my cover photo, my profile picture, because I had a photo in there. I had bangs. It was from probably like 13 years ago. I just had never taken the time to bother creating a new profile picture. So I did that so that now it's more congruent. It's not like, who's this young lady with these bangs? It's like, no, it's the same lady who's on the banner here. So it's congruent, right? I did not update the about section because I'd already done that about 2 weeks ago as well. And I made sure it was fine-tuned specifically for Evergreen Marketing, sharing my story and why it is interesting for you guys, right? Okay, so then the very first video that comes up here in YouTube Studio, you can choose to present like a trailer video. So you can have a trailer video for people who are new to your channel, and you can have a trailer video for returning viewers who are already subscribed to your channel. And so right now, for both of these people, I have the week 1 of our series. Now, what I'm working on in the next few weeks is I'm going to create a dedicated video, which is going to be like a trailer of my channel, but specifically to give them value and get them to want to stick around. That is the purpose of it. Then for returning subscribers, they will see my latest video so that it's really nice for you. You come to my channel and you're like, what has Amanda been working on that can help me? Oh, this is her newest video. All right. And you can see in this still here, you can see where my channel stat was. So if you want to hear again why it was flat, why it went up, why it went down, why it's going up again, make sure you watch last week's video to understand what we're doing. All right. So then I've got a start here section so that viewers who come to my channel for the first time, they realize, oh, it's really easy. This is where I should start if I want to build an evergreen YouTube funnel. We want to make it as easy and relevant as possible while also building in our YouTube SEO, right? I've got build your evergreen YouTube funnel, right? So evergreen YouTube funnel. Then I decided to have a section where I show the proof. This actually works. I made this work across a whole bunch of different niches. And here are a couple of videos on my channel that prove that this works not just now, but for a decade, right? So proof that videos that rank and convert for years, right? So I've got my how to bake a cake video, my children's how to make a board game, my daughter's how to clean sticky frog toys. This was a video, the 6 magical piggy banks, which is a cartoon I created. Yes, please don't mind my stick drawing. And it's teaching kids about money. This is the video I did sharing what it was actually like to wake up from a coma. So these are just a couple of niches, completely different topics, and yet they all rank in the top search results on YouTube and on Google for free. And you can see, so 14 years ago, 12 years ago, 12 years ago, 14 years ago, 6 years ago, right? So you can see this is something that has happened a long time ago and it's still working. And then I've got a section here. So if people are ready to start actually building their evergreen YouTube funnel, they can dive right in. It's a 10-part series and it goes over everything you need to do to get your videos ranking evergreen going forward. And then down here, I've got my live series. So each week I'll add to this because I feel like this is really helpful for everyone, so that it is really helpful for you specifically, so you can learn, okay, what is actually working in 2026 and what should I just not bother with, right? Like I want you to save time by using me as your guinea pig. And then I have 2 more sections. One is just the evergreen marketing strategy. So these are different lessons I've learned myself. This is also where my new videos will go. I've also got videos that share lessons I've learned from my mentors. Here's an episode from Groove where I was a guest speaker. I put that on there. And you can see this one is an upcoming video, which I'm going to tell you something about this. This is one of the lessons I learned this week that I'm really excited to share with you because I think it's really important. And it was definitely one of those, oh my God, did I do that moments? So I'll share that with you. And then the tools that I use specifically to help me with my evergreen YouTube funnels. And that's it. So nice and clean and simple. Whereas before it was a whole bunch. I was trying to make sure everybody understood all the different niches. I'm not doing that anymore. If they want to go to my videos and try to find them, they can, or they can just search in the search bar because my videos will come up, which is amazing, right? So that was the one task that I was really focused on. The second task that I had set for myself last week was because the last time I uploaded a video, I used vidIQ, right? So I uploaded in YouTube Studio And vidIQ popped up with, would you like me to make some shorts for this video? And I was like, yes, this is something I've always wanted to do, but I never wanted to spend a lot of time on it because you don't warm your audience with shorts. You don't build, know, like, and trust with shorts. So you should not be spending a ton of time working on shorts unless you want to be a YouTuber who does shorts, right? But if you're a business, you need to really get your leads to know you, to feel like, yes, you really do have value. Yes, I can trust you. And now that I'm ready to solve my problem, can you please help me, right? Like that's what we're trying to do, right? So I wanted to kind of use shorts strategically from a YouTube SEO perspective and to kind of see them as like little commercials that would drive viewers to your videos. And so I thought, let's test that. So that was the second task that I did last week. I decided to test creating shorts and uploading shorts for last week's video, the live series video, as well as the first video in my 10-part series. So down here, this video right here. So I'm going to show you a couple of different stats that have happened over the past week, and then I'll tell you what my plans are for the week going forward. So let me just check in. All right, so Tony, Sina, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so this is the channel analytics, okay? Now you can see down here, we've only just started to trigger the algorithm, which is actually really, really cool. I honestly didn't expect to trigger it at all yet because I haven't been uploading value videos other than obviously the live series, but they get treated differently. And so I was shocked to see that by posting the live video, as well as the shorts to that older video on my channel, the first video in the series, it actually raised the amount of views that I was, and the amount of subscribers on my channel. So you can see here, if I can just find my mouse again, there we go. You can see here, this was before. On average, we have like 800, 700, 800, 700, 1,000 here and there. 800, 700 is kind of the norm. Then Wednesday the 28th, that was the day before I went live last week. On Thursday, it jumped up to 1,100, and then 1,400, 1,400, 1,000, 1,200, 1,200, 1,100, right? So it raised my channel by roughly a couple of hundred views and 120 more than usual subscribers. Look at that, right? So that is a huge indicator right there that even small steps, when they are intentional and aligned with your channel and done with YouTube SEO in mind, as well as value, you always have to balance both. It can have it. You know, it can kickstart your channel. Even if your channel is like mine and over 15 years old, it can kickstart it. So that was really exciting. And if we look at the last year or the lifetime, let me just show you what the lifetime one is. Just let it. So you can see, so this is what I was talking about, how my channel, it took a couple of years before it took off at all. Then I posted a bunch of videos, which I'll tell you more about in that first video of this series. And then it consistently did the same thing for years. Then after my coma, I started learning about SEO and I started testing. And that's when my channel really spiked, right? And then COVID hit and my videos were just primed for people who were at home needing help. And then, of course, after COVID, it went down a little bit as people started going back to work. And then I decided to pivot my channel and really only focus on online business and helping you build evergreen YouTube funnels. But I wasn't really posting a lot. And I was only posting once in a while, but it was always consistently about online business. It wasn't yet completely directional around evergreen YouTube marketing. And so my channel kind of dropped because all those people interested in teaching kids about money and cake decorating, they would see my videos come up and they wouldn't click on it because it wasn't interesting for them, which is fair, right? I wouldn't want them to click on it. And it told the algorithm, oh, maybe they don't like her videos, because it's going to take time for the algorithm to realize, oh, it's not that they're not interested in her videos. They're not interested in that topic. But the algorithm is getting better and better and better. And so then I started to post a bit more frequently. And you can see here, let me just clear that, how it's trending upwards now again. See down there? trending upwards now. So there's that 1,100, right? And there's the 200 that it had dropped down to. And up here, you can see we were like way at, let's see if it comes up. Oh, it doesn't want to show me right now, but you can see across here, it's roughly about 9,000, right? So isn't that crazy? And you can see here, just over the lifetime, this estimated revenue, that is on ad revenue. So that is only on ad revenue. It's not calculating in book sales, course sales, affiliate sales, right? Like that is the bulk of my business. The ad revenue is the cherry on top. And the ad revenue took 15 years to earn $14,000. So you're looking at just under $1,000 a year in ad revenue. So if you want to focus on ad revenue, you're going to have to make a lot of videos, right, to make it worth your while. And that's why we use YouTube as a tool. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is this video from last week, right? So this was the first video in the series. And you can see I decided not to do all of my normal promotions for these specific videos. I will do it for my regular ones because I know how well it works. So I wanted to have a comparison. So I thought these live videos, I'm not going to do all the promotion stuff that I normally do. And you can see that it, started off a little slow, got a little bit of traction, kind of held steady. And then the power of those shorts started to kick in and it really triggered it and brought it up. Isn't that cool? Now, something that's interesting, and I don't want it to mess you up, so I thought I'd show it on my end, is what you see in stats on your videos and what you see in the back end of the YouTube studio don't always compute, specifically if you're doing a live video. Let me show you what I mean. So on here, using this tool, View Stats, you can see that I had 108 views, right? If I scroll down, you can even see here, YouTube says 108 views. I go into my channel, and you can see it does say here 108 views. When I go into the video itself and into the video analytics, it says 74 views. And what I've realized is it's counting the views going forward after the live stream. Interesting, right? So don't let it mess with you if it doesn't quite compute. It is okay. Just know that this number is the number of views, and this is just basing it on after it's gone live, because of course it takes all this processing time, and it probably just kickstarts its back end to start functioning from there. I'm not sure why, but I thought I would just let you know in case that messes with you. Don't worry about it. And look, it made a whopping 34 cents in ad revenue, which of course is not why we're using YouTube. All right, so then the next thing I want to show you are the shorts. So I did a ton of shorts, and I'm going to just show you how they did, because it was all over the place. Like, shorts is definitely its own monster, right? And so each short, like I showed you last week, is linked to the video that the short is promoting. So when people see the short, they can click right there on that short. It brings them to the long form video. That's how you want to use shorts, purely as a marketing tool to trigger the algorithm, because by triggering the algorithm will actually show your long form videos more often. It's really cool. And make it intriguing enough that a viewer would find it interesting. Like, you still have to figure out the balance between value and SEO. So here are the stats on these ones. So it started here, how YouTube kept my business alive. So 33 views, 519 on this one, 47, almost 300 on this one, 130, 5 views, right? Don't let it break you. It's okay. This one was, can YouTube attract perfect leads? Maybe that didn't attract people. Who knows? 147, 82, 81, and so on, roughly about 40, 50, 15, 48. 8 on this one. Your business's potential. Doesn't sound very interesting, right? Then 252, then 65. Like, it's all over the place. Another 500, right? People apparently find YouTube SEO interesting. Now, I'm not sure how strongly we can rely on the views that we get and where we get them from, whether it's because people are watching them multiple times, or whether it's because they find it intriguing, or maybe they just happen to be scrolling and it started playing. Like, it's kind of hit or miss as to when it actually counts. And so that's why I really don't want you to focus too much on creating shorts and taking all that time away from the bulk of your business, the bulk of the evergreen side of your business really needs to be focused in on the long form. And then, yeah, let tools like vidIQ create a bunch of shorts, schedule them. It literally took me maybe 20 minutes to schedule all of these shorts out. And I had about 3 or 4 shorts go every single day. So these shorts, these ones are from that one video, the first video in my 10-part series. And then these ones with the white background, those, and with my plaid shirt, those are from the live. So it's kind of sprinkled throughout. The one with the blue shirt, those are from that series, and so on. So I just kind of sprinkled throughout. And I was having a chat with AI to decide how I wanted to strategize the posting of the shorts. And as long as the content is similar and related, you can intersperse the shorts. But if they were completely different, then only focus on one kind of short for one day, one kind of short for another day. Otherwise, it does mess up the algorithm. So there you go. And you can see this one is not, it's still scheduled, so it hasn't been posted yet. I think it'll go out in about 30 minutes, something like that. All right, so then I wanted to show you a lesson that I learned, okay? So this is a video I am going to publish next Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I highly recommend you come and check it out. I will actually do it as a live, oh my gosh, premiere, so that if you have any questions during, I'll be on live in the chat. All right. And so when doing this, I came across a lesson that I thought I'd share with you because it's really important, especially if you're doing videos that include other people. You want to make sure that you're really paying attention to honoring those people. So I had AI create this thumbnail for me. I mean, my video is about AI, so I thought I can use AI for the thumbnail. And I was so focused on making sure that my image actually looked like me, because the first time I made one, my wife looked at it and went, "Oh, that's not you." And it kind of freaked her out. So I thought, okay, I need to really make sure it looks like me and it doesn't like freak her out. That I didn't pay attention to how accurate AI made my other speakers look. So Tony, looks a little bit like that. And Craig looks a little bit like that. So I had Craig send me photos of them and I trained the AI. And this is much better. This looks more like Craig. This looks more like Tony, right? Like, so that is so much better. I'm still going to double check, make sure they're happy with it. But I wanted to share that with you because it's really important that when you have other people, that they feel honored, they feel well represented. I mean, they're going to expect it looks like AI, which is fine, but it needs to look like them. And that's really important. So I wanted to share that. The other thing I want to share quickly is, and I'll just make this smaller so you can see the whole page. So I have already uploaded this video, the one that's coming out. I am going to start scheduling out these shorts to already start going out probably this afternoon or possibly not till tomorrow. But before I actually go live on the video, a couple of these are going to be like pre-trailers, right? To get the algorithm already linking to the video that's going to go live on Monday or going to be published on Monday. So it created all of these shorts for me. And it does such a great job of picking things that are really interesting. It's not as good at it as StreamYard is. So I will create, I'm pointing to this other monitor over here where I've got StreamYard going. I will create shorts with this particular stream as well, using StreamYard and using vidIQ. And you get a chance to notice if you go to my channel and you look at the shorts, the ones that are 30 seconds and less, they are done by vidIQ. The ones that are like a minute, minute 30, they are done by StreamYard. And watch the difference. The vidIQ ones do tend to cut off the front and the ends. They still grab really good content, but they kind of chop it. And StreamYard really grabs the full context. Like you feel as the viewer complete, right? And excited to learn more. So I do really like that better. But again, I'm okay with the vidIQ version because it's still really good content. Even if it's chopped a little bit, that's fine. And we don't want to spend a lot of time. So my goal this coming week is to publish this video. I'll just go back here to publish this video, or rather this image here, right? And also to create shorts for this live stream, this video that's going out on Monday, and to the second video in my channel series, which is this one. There, rank higher now, master YouTube SEO. So it's going to go to that one. And then we're going to track and see if it makes a difference. So if we quickly go into this one, I haven't had a look to see. Let's just quickly have a look at the stats on this one. Let me just pause this. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I'm really excited to see this. All right, so I'll just pause there. We don't need to see the commercial. It's fine. Have a look at the statistics at the over on the side here, and you can see. So let's see here. This is January 27th. Is right about there. Okay, get that out of the way. If you see this black box here that says max, the edge of the black box is roughly where the 27th is, the 26th, and that is where I started using the shorts. So you can see there's a little kick there. It did actually trigger this specific video. So next week we can see if it triggers the other video in the series, as well as the lives, as well as the one on Monday that I'm going to be publishing. And we'll go back to this one and see if it's continued the trend even when I stop doing the shorts on this first video. So those are my things. So what are your goals for this coming week? I have a third goal I'm doing, and that is just to enjoy some extra time with my wife and family, because we've got family weekend coming up, and my wife had a couple of days off in advance. So we're going to have a nice long family weekend. I will still hop on for this live stream on Friday. I'll just take some time out of our family time to do that, because I really want to do this for you guys. And my wife will be busy counting her bottles for her cycle drive that she does to raise money for sick kids' cancer. So it'll be perfect. All right, I hope that was really helpful and inspiring. I'm super excited to do this series with you, to show live what's actually happening. And if you are ready to build your own evergreen YouTube marketing system, then hop over here. I know it's not there yet until this live stream is over and YouTube processes the film, so it might take a little while, a couple hours. But once it is processed properly, there will be a link over here. You'll see it in the description as well, so you don't have to wait. You can go click on it, and it'll bring you to the first video that is going to show you exactly how to balance YouTube SEO with the warming strategies, right? Attracting your ideal leads and turning them into your dream clients. All right, I'll see you over here, and thank you so much for checking in and for saying hello. That's so cool. All right, I'll be looking in the comments to see what your goal is this week.